Welcome back everyone, Jose21 Crisis here. We're playing Grand Prix World 2001. This is episode 1. I hope you already saw episode 0. If not, should be a link right up there so you can see it so you are aware of what's going on. So, episode 1. Last time I tried to hire a few people, we got one of them. Build a few spare parts, prepare our people to try to get some sponsors. This is going to be a constant fight during the season. And prepare our guys for the Australian Grand Prix. We didn't have any setup points and I gave them the hard tires, which from my testing, it seems they're going to last like 29 laps, which is good enough. I also decided on driver orders. Let me explain them real quickly. Acceleration is the most important factor in terms of performance. The higher it is, the faster they go compared to top speed and curb use, but wears the engine and increases fuel consumption a ton, so it's a bit iffy. Braking is how late they brake and how much they use the tires. So if I had this at 5, it'll be okay. Here they will brake very late and wear out their tires more, but be able to overtake better. I'm going to set this to 4 because otherwise our brakes are very likely to fail and I don't want that happening. Top speed is how much top speed they reach, how high is the rev limiter set. If you set this too high, it won't happen on our engines or Ferrari engines because it's at 6 rigidity. I will explain what all of those mean eventually. If you set this too high, the engine will vibrate and damage the rear wing, which we do not want. Curb use is how much they push and how much they lean on the suspension. Higher means they use the suspension more and they push more. This also has an effect on pace, like top speed and acceleration, braking, and off-racing like dumb. But it's the smallest compared to top speed and acceleration. If you set this too high, especially with guys like Mazzacane that I show you as 1, 2 in stamina, 1 in stamina, that's wrong. 1 in stamina, they will tire out, and this will become an issue in tracks like Monaco, Brazil next week in game. Next round. It's not 1 week, it's 1 round. Next round in Brazil, Monaco, Hungary, those long races. If I have this too high, Mazzacane will tire out on DNF, and I don't want that. Off racing line is how much they go outside racing line to overtake opponents. This increases pace, but increases driver errors, and is related to the dust rating, which I can't change. I'm gonna set it to that same rating to try to limit errors during overtakes, if we eventually make one of them. These ones are self-explanatory, how much they defend, how much they attack. I'm gonna leave them as is for now. Confirm those other orders. Nothing on the setup, as you know. Nothing on the assembly. We already said this. We're going to not focus on stuff. Focus on, I think, you will know this already because I have probably made infographic and editor, please. Thank you. That graphic shows how good every team is using the internal values of the game. We're probably on the low end, close to Jaguar perhaps? I'm pretty sure we're above Minardi, but I can't confirm that. Anyway, going to save the game now, once again, and before we go into the actual race, let me show you something. This is going to be the calendar for this season, for 2001. Unfortunately, Grand Prix World isn't that moddable. You can add tracks, but it's just recently 2023 that people's been able to do. So instead, we're gonna rely on the 1998 calendar, which is Australia, Brazil, Argentina, Imola, Spain, Monaco, Canada, France, Great Britain, Austria, Germany, Hungary, Belgium, Italy, Europe. It says Luxembourg, but I'm gonna call it the European Grand Prix. It's Nürburgring. Europe and Japan. That's a calendar we're gonna be running year after year, 16 rounds. It should be okay. I panic save because, of course. Now, let's get in and let's see what happens. This is gonna suck. The intros are cool though. So, race preparations, I have everything. Driver and team orders, setup, assembly, driving illegality, haven't talked too much about driving aids, that will be important later. View competitors, view qualifying, and view race. I will be doing this live. I'm not gonna be recording them a lot, other than like the first lap of the race and what I do during qualifying. Other than that, I'm not gonna record much. So here's the competitors, and by using the number they're gonna be using, like we got Michael, Rubens, Mika, David, Giancarlo, Jensen, and so on and so forth. We're all the way down here, 22nd and 23rd. This is the reason no one likes us, because we finished last in the Constructors' Championship. Even Minardi is ahead of us. We need to fix it. So, the weather forecast is going to be dry. It's going to be 27 degrees, which is, it's alright. We could push the engines more if we wanted to, but I'm not going to. Wind speed is high, which means driver errors are going to be slightly increased. And you have some images of, I think that's Jacques Villeneuve, and I think that's Ralf Schumacher right there. So again, you can confirm your assembly. This is your last chance to change tires and fuel mixture. I'm not gonna do that because I'm really happy with what we have, like I told you. And here is the strategy for qualifying. You can set with what tires you want them to start. I want them on set 1. Yes, you have a limited set of dry tires. And that's the laps of fuel. I want them with 3 laps. So how qualifying usually goes? Hang on a moment. I said I want to. Right now I have this game locked at 60 FPS. In fact, let me actually do something real quick. Okay, we're back. The issue with this game is that even office computers from 2005, 2007, like this one, that will eventually change, can run Grand Prix World way beyond what the devs intended, which is roughly 30 FPS. And this game works best at 30 FPS in terms of race stuff. So I had to come back here, load up Australia again. Now the weather has changed. Now it's 21 degrees, it's raining, and wind speed slow. What this means is that, well, I'll have to do quali laps quickly, because with the wind speed, it means rain will not dissipate really quick. It'll be staying there for a while, and you do not want to do laps on heavy rain because they are slow. So again, this confirmed. As you can see, the game automatically puts you in the optimal tire, which is the intermediate. Matsakan is gonna complain a ton, but don't mind him. I'm gonna send my guys out right away, because we need to put this lap down really quickly. Let me shut down this speech because they can be annoying, let me tell you that. And here he is, that's John Lacey, that's Matsakane. I need them to put laps down before you see a message here that, you see a message here that says, okay, you're tripping. Before a message says that the track is wet, very wet. Right now the track is just wet. As you can see here, track dryness 2 points, which is wet. It can go to very wet if it drops that point, which we do not want right now. Everyone's going out to put down a big time lap. I don't see the front runners though, and there is a 107% rule in this game. Let's have Janalisi pushing, and let's have Matsakane pushing as well. There's a 107% rule in this game. Also, Matsakane here is complaining that he wants wets. That's because his speed is very low. God. Okay, track got very wet, so this is a waste of time. Of course, we have to start with a tricky session like this one. So what I wanted to prevent was this one, the circuit going very wet, but I mean, what can you do? I'm going to have the guys come in and hopefully wait that the track dries out. There's not going to be nothing of interest going on right now, so I'm going to pause the recording and come back when something important happens. Important things indeed happen. What you can see right now is that conditions got very dry. It is dry on track, track is drying. So I'm gonna send my guys out for a hot lap. Hopefully we can do this before the track either switches to wet, to very wet again, or it switches to dry. I want to put down a lap on the inters before weather decides to be another. See you when the guys put down the lap down. There goes Lacey, he's closing his lap, track got damp. He went P1, that's I guess good for now. Mazzacane goes screwed hard by that arrow, the number 15 right there in front of him. He went P2, doesn't matter. Stop the count. This is on pace and skill alone, of course. Yeah. So now that it got dry, people's gonna put real lap times in the dry. There's not going to be much for us to do other than waiting a bit until track conditions get better. There's not going to be much interest in going down. This is qualifying after all. So I see you in the final 5 minutes, or actually on our final run. See you then. So we did our runs. Session is getting close to an end. As you can see on both of their screens, there's 0 minutes left. It should be ending in a few. There's a few guys putting down laps. Michael has the pole right now. He's just casually 2/10 faster than anyone else. The Benettons are not fast. We are actually faster than the Benettons. We beat the Arrows, the Minardis obviously. We will be fighting the Jaguars, and I don't think over here. I don't think the VARs are slow as Villeneuve make them be. Yeah, the checker flag is out. I don't think the VARs are that slow, neither are the Sauber. There we go, station's over. Michael, pole position for Ferrari and for Bridgestone. Second, Barrichello, so Ferrari front row. Then David Coulthard, Ralf Schumacher, Juan Pablo Montoya, and Hakkinen for the first 6 slots, the point slots. And down here in the second page are us. Good job, Mazzacane, who put half 4/10 over his teammate, his more experienced, faster and better teammate. The Michelins are down here, like Benetton, Minardi, Prost. The only good Michelin runners were the Williamses, because the Williams is a good car. Well, now time for the strategy. It's going to be 25 degrees. There's some madness going on down there. Overcast conditions, it might rain, and the track will be cool. Wind speed average, so not bad performance from our cars. As you can see, you cannot change fuel or compound. This is due to the late 90s, early 2000s rules, where you had to use the same compound as you used for the same compound used for quali, you had to use for the race. So we're going to be running a one-stop strategy here, and it is the fastest strategy around this track. For Alesi, I'm going to be pitting him on lap 29, but giving him some extra fuel. Actually, I lied. Mazzacane is going to go on lap 29. On exactly 29, and I'm going to put him like 2 extra laps of fuel. 31, and over here at 27. Make sure to put non-scrub fresh tires on, because the scrub tires are hotter and wear out faster. Alesi, I'm going to have him run to 32 on fresh sets. The one stop is OP over here, so we have to make it work. It's OP in other tracks as well, but we'll bother about that when we get there. So let me save the game right here in case bad things happen, like electricity or something. The red lights are turning on. The Australian Grand Prix is about to begin. I will show you just lap 1, and then I'll return when the leader, probably Michael, enters the final lap. So here we go. We're 16 and 14. I'm expecting to drop to dead last or something, because lap 1s on this game are terrible. We're actually doing okay. Okay, Mazzacane lost a spot. I expect the lazy to drop because this is an error zone where drivers make errors when overtaking. Okay, was Mazzacane? No, we actually made up a spot. Someone dropped. This is unexpected. I like it. So here goes everyone, including ourselves. There we go. Alesi already making places. Already beating Mazzacane. Good. And we're coming up to Sector 3, the end of the lap. There go the Salvers. There go us. I will tell Mazzacane to not push that much so that he doesn't interfere lazy, because I guess he's faster. And I'm gonna cut it right here. Mazzacane just got this. Great. I'm gonna cut it right here. The arrows are quick. Like I said, I'm gonna cut it right here because, yeah, I don't have that much recording space and these videos are long and cannot record everything. I will be returning for when we get close to our pit stop lap, so you can see how we have to deal with this stuff. See you then. And we got our first DNF. Enrique Bernoldi right there. He was the guy following Gianna Lacey. He was pestering the hell out of him. But now that he's free, we should be good to go. Over here I turn on the do or die block, which is basically for Mazzacane over here to defend for his life. We're basically going to use Mazzacane to block everyone so that Gianna Lacey can go free and do his one-stop strategy without no problem. I mean, sorry Gaston, but I mean, you're the paid driver. Lacey has the better rating. Come on. We have to prioritize our people correctly. See you when the next relevant event happens. That relevant event was this car right there. That was Eddie Irvine, as you can see right here, DNFing, which nets us another position. So interesting situation here. We have a goofball. What do I mean by that? You're not truly just pit to do a 3-stop strategy. We have a couple of those guys every now and then that do a 3-stop strategy on a track that doesn't make any sense. In this case, it is Jarno truly. There might be a few more of them, and or one-stop strategy, and I mean, we are very, very far away from them, but if one of the solvers or the VARs decide to go on a 3-stop, or this Jag, I think that's Bertie, if they decide to go 3-stop and pit soon, like right now, we will trap them, like truly trap right there. Show me some more Mazzacane shots. Right there. He's trapped on the Mazzacane train. We're not gonna let them go easy. So the first round of 2-stoppers and 3-stoppers has mostly cycled. Track is drying up, that's good. And here's the reason why the 2-stopper is, well, the 1-stopper is better than the 2-stopper in this race. Jacques Villeneuve and Luciano Berti were faster than us. They were all the way over here before they pitted. That's Villeneuve. And all the way on the back of his train is Bertie. There's not many Bertie images, sorry. That's Bertie, well, you know my point. That's Luciano Berti right there. He's on the Mazzacane train, and Villeneuve is directing a train of himself. Like, Mazzacane might well be faster than Villeneuve. Thank you, engine noises. Also, just Verstappen just pit, so we don't have that much pressure. There's the Michael. Anyway, the point is, we basically gained some spots thanks to our strategy and the fact that Mazzacane is directing this train. That's good. Okay, decided to pop a quick save right here because there's something important going down in a few moments. That's going to be Mazzacane's pit stop, and I'm going to have to explain something important regarding that pit stop. So, there's a bug with this game. You might remember the order in which teams were in the team selection screen, the Ferrari, McLaren, Williams, etc, etc. Well, we, Prost, were last, the last entirely. What that means for us is that if we go to pit and someone higher than us, say Minardi, pits right after, we're going to have to wait for that Minardi to go out of the pits before we can, well, get out of the pit ourselves. Truly pit, so he's not going to be a concern. So what I'm going to do, and the reason why I put more fuel in Mazzacane's car and Lacey's car, is that I'm going to hope no one pits on this lap with Mazzacane. That Minardi right there might be a concern. I hope he chooses right and pits the next lap or one of the other laps and allows Matsagana to pit with peace and calm because he definitely needs it. Otherwise, I'm going to reload and pit at some other time, like lap 30 or 31. But let's see if one of those guys decide to pit with him. Yep. You know what, Matsakane, it's not that big of a deal. Besides, we got a pit stop problem, so that's going to slow down the Minardi anyway, I think. Yep. So, in this case, my problem, the pit stop problem, Jack caught. Our guys were slow, and of course it was Alonso, and of course he made a mistake. So my problem actually slowed down Alonso right here. So it wasn't that big of a deal. Alesi is going to be pitting in a few moments, and I actually want his stop to be good, barring any pit stop problems, and I want to prevent any of these items from slowing him down. So let's wait a bit until his actual stop lap. I will quick save before it. Okay, time for John Alesi's stop. He's all the way over here. That's Matsakane. Here is Alesi. Matsakane is going to get lapped in a few moments by Barrichello. Michael's leading. So, yeah, he has to stop again. Can't see where Nick Heidfeld is, but he is on a one stop and he's pretty good. Anyway, Alesi's pitting. Here are the pit stop summaries. Our pit stop was slower than Alonso anyway, so I'm not gonna be too upset. Okay, the Jaguar went through without issue. What happened? Don't tell me. Okay, it was just car malfunction. The AI can have these as well, so I'm not gonna be too upset, even though I'm upset. It happens. Alesi was on his way to, I don't know, a top 10 or something, but the bad team blues. Well, I see you at the end of the race. Here's something interesting. Mika Hakkinen DNF. As you can see, he DNF due to an accident, and over here, Jos Verstappen, there he is, he DNF due to rear wing. To translate that into Grand Prix World terms is that Mika Hakkinen ran into the back of Verstappen, killed his rear wing, killed Mika's front wing, and they both DNF because of that. That can happen, especially if backmarkers start defending like crazy when they shouldn't, or the guy that's trying to pass gets too desperate and runs into them. That can happen. So, Michael has just entered his final lap of the race. He's the leader. A while ago, Saint-Charles Branson did. And a while ago, really decided to slow down. He's dropping a lot of pace. I think, yeah, that's a DNF. That's a double DNF for Dylan. He had overtaken Matsakane, but after he slowed down, we got the position back, which means he's 11th. Just one spot shy of 10th. I came here to blow up right now, I wouldn't mind, but that isn't happening. Congratulations to the Michael, he wins the season opener. What a surprise. Now Lacey could have probably gone 10th. Oh no. We need better mechanics. That's like the priority mechanics. But we come home in 11th place. Well, if someone DNFs and we pass him before the Michael completes the cooldown lap, we will get the point. So let's hold our hope before the Michael passes. And yes, this is a bug, but I don't mind. Maybe we can get a P10? Maybe if he goes up right now? No? Okay, it will be P11. Don't worry, P11 is a solid position for our team. I will expect us to be behind these guys. Well, at least the Benetton. Benetton just sucked this race. So, Michael wins, followed by Coulthard, and Ralf Schumacher completes the podium. Then we have Barrichello, Heidfeld, and Olivier Panis rounding out the remaining spots in the points. Nearly all of them Bridgestones, and you got Michelin on third, 7th, on 9th, and on 11th. The McLarens, well, Hakkinen, Verstappen did his thing. That's Verstappen, by the way. Jade. So yeah, Lacey is gonna remain there. He's gonna remind me of how good this race could have been. So in the championship, the top 6 in the same order they were. Ferrari lead the Constructors' Championship, weren't even classified, we don't have points. The McLaren, Williams, Sauber, MBAR. Let's save the game right here, in the 1 slot. Quick change of recording to know how much I'm spending in the menus. So let's check the news. Michael adds another win to his total. He led the race. He did not quite have a Grand Slam because of this man right here who scored his first points. He was on a 1-stop and made it work, and actually was in the lead for a while before had to pit and Michael led. Alright, DC also led some laps. You can check a graph from the race. These are the standings, as you can see. You can check a graph from the race. Here it is. Michael leads all the way over here, lap 22. There he pits, there he goes. So I think, yeah, that's Hakkinen. This is Ralph, this is Frentzen, and this is Heidfeld. All of them led laps, and then Michael destroy everything. Coulthard to the lead, Michael back to lead. There it is. More news. Alesi, yeah, of course, he finished, wasn't happy. Minardi signed Jenson Button. I don't know where they have the money to do so. Of course, as I told you, he's coming here. Unfortunately, that Stappen is going to go to Jaguar. Yep. We had tons of issues, like we had the jack during the Mazzacane stop and Jan Alesi outright DNF. So we are losing some people. We lost. We won't be able to negotiate with Team Demsham, which is a shame. We have been talking to him, as you can see. Ekren Sami, he's not related to us, but he's, I think, a level 5. And when a level 5 is negotiating with a team, it will come up in the news. We didn't do any testing. I actually need to start doing testing from this run onwards. And at least we're not the worst manager. That's Tom Walkinshaw, and the best manager is Luca Di Montezemolo. In fact, here we have the manager ranking. As you can see, we weren't the worst. We were pretty bad. I don't know how this works, but the game hates the player for some reason I cannot understand. So let's see how his morale looking. Now Alesi's morale went a point down, which happens. So I cannot tell you. On the commercial department, okay, it stayed stable, thank God. In every department stayed stable, I like that. Okay, a trick to prevent morale from going down is not having excellence or very good, because if performance isn't good, they'll try to run away from the team, and any resigns or firings demoralize the team. Now let's check the mail. This is very scary. We lost some cash. Okay, that's definitely better than what I expected. I expected to lose like 200 or something, but that's okay. So, okay, yeah, we signed Alonso. He might not be the best. His ratings are not that good, but he'll bring some good money. Some good money it is. More testing before races, so we will lose ground. We didn't test, and the guys want to test, so according to my own house rules, I must test now. So we will deal with that in a moment. I have some staff not doing anything. That's because I forgot to set them to do next year's car. That's not going to be a big deal anyway. Some spares, yeah. Red Bull has turned us down because we suck. We won't be having a team sponsor for next year, which expected. So we have been working with Michelin. They won't offer us a works deal because, of course, Asia Tech won't offer us a works deal because we're not successful enough. That's a lot of BS. They won't offer us a works deal because they can't do so. With Elf, Acer, Parmalat, good. What's going on over here? Hospitality undermanned. We do not have any staff working in hospitality. That's the plan. No VAPs. I do understand the reason. That's because we cannot do it. We can't. Although there's a little trick I recently learned. I'm gonna put it to the test. And nothing on licensing happens. I did not expect anything. Setup for the last race was terrible because we did no testing. Pit stop disasters, retirement, just a whole bunch of bad news. Okay. Bernoldi was not happy with the roll, but I cannot increase the roll. Let's save the game right here. I will not quick load. Okay, he did not complain this time. See how they can change opinion all of a sudden? Like, with no explanation, I would have much preferred that Stappen is signed to Jaguar until 2004. Well, actually until 2003. He's a free agent in 2004. We're gonna sign Bernoldi, that's not gonna be a big concern, and we're not gonna sign a test driver, we're gonna see what's remaining in the pool later in the year. Commercial, I will deal with the main personnel a bit later on, because I have to input some data in a spreadsheet I make. That gives me hope what kind of deal I should do with them. I'm going to level up an average to good. This may piss them off, but I need to do stuff correctly. And I'm gonna sign some trainees, 2 trainees in fact. Good. Design, there's no one here. Engineering, I'm going to fire an average to sign a good and hire those 2 trainees. We're gonna be filling this stuff up with trainees. Same here, I'm going to sign these 3 averages. It's basically as if I hired 3 trainees and leveled up 3 of them to average. So there we go. We're done hiring people. Now I need to start making some deals. I'm gonna throw stuff into a spreadsheet I make that tells me how much I should pay commercial and designers and engineers and mechanics. So I'll see you in a moment. Let me save because I have to quit out of the game. So we got our first guy. I originally wanted to make an offer to Ring right here, but he did not like the salary. I went for Fraser instead. He's a bit more expensive, a bit more royalty. But, I mean, we need a level 3. We're gonna be stealing a bit from Sauber, but I don't mind. We got a commercial manager for 2002 and 2003. By the way, I came here to look for the salaries so I can input them in the spreadsheet. But these guys went quick. I don't know why Ferrari didn't go for Braun, because resigning is cheaper than hiring a new guy. But that's the wonderful things of this game. They give us interesting storylines because everyone's on a 1-year deal. For example, as you can see, Adrian Newey is going to return to Williams. Of all things, of course. That will happen. We have decided to design our current technical director, Henry Durand. I gave him 2 clicks on the race bonus as specified on my spreadsheet because it will have asked for a like 8,000 race bonus in the spreadsheet, which is not good enough. And 780 on the salary. The spreadsheet said 760, but I could only go to 780, so here we go. We already have a good technical director. Speaking of technical directors, by the way, here's this man, Gunther Steiner. I'm not going to hire him because he's trash in more aspects than the first one. Sergio Rinland decided to accept. Last time he complained about the team, this time I raised the monetary incentives and he decided to accept. This is the guy that designed these Sauber cars, which this year are actually pretty good. I hope he can do the same for Prost in 2003. He won't be affecting the 2002 car, unfortunately. That's go set. Finally, we got the mechanics. Let's see what I can do. Unfortunately, I could not hire a chief mechanic because, for example, I could not finish my Sauber raid because Kuratle isn't happy with the team. We're not a strong championship contender, he says. Gibson thinks the salary is low. This is what the spreadsheet said I had to give him. Well, the spreadsheet said a bit less. Same with Edwards. Gaten did accept, but he's unhappy with the team, so we're gonna have to wait a turn more, which I'm not too upset about. Now we're going to build a few more spare parts. Three of them actually. We can build three. I'm going to do so. There we go. 3 spares. We're losing cash, but we had to do. We're not going to do anything there because we cannot do anything. So this is the designer's tab, where we can see the performance of the technology we have in the car. As you can see, it's terrible, including the suspension, which that's a nice airplane sound. Anyway, including the suspension, which to me is the most important part in regards to technology because it saves the tires. And here being a level 2 means that, well, it sucks. What I forgot to do on the opening episode is put 100% of my people here to start designing the 2002 car. The reason for that is that the FIA takes a while to release the new regulations. If we start work and we comply with the regulations, then we will, have a decent car for 2002. If we started at the right time, the car will always comply, but here we have a random chance of it complying. So I hope we comply with the regs so we don't lose this time. Now we're gonna have to do testing, and those prices are expensive. So I'm gonna put about 100 miles of testing. This is too much for my liking because look at that price. And the guys complained about not having what specific. Setup, development, research. Let me first check, because not only do I have to test the cars, I also will have to repair them. It's like 1% for each bit, so I can test a ton. And then I'll have to, and do some mental maths. My maths tell me I should not test, and I will actually listen to my mental maths. I will not test because we're gonna run out of time from the mechanics, and we need to get the cars in good shape for Brazil. Look at that, we actually had a bit of a percentage, but we will have worn the cars a bit. So I know the guys will be upset because we're not testing, but let me secure that. You need to have a wind tunnel contract to continue your design phases eventually. I'm gonna do that right away and forget about it anyway. This is the factory section, by the way. We have a level 1 factory that won't improve until like season 3. Now I have free staff. I have 10% free staff simply because these guys did not accept or advance. I'm gonna do this trick. I'm gonna put 1% to quality. Come here, talk to Acer, talk to who's paying us more cash. Acer, Parmalat, and PSN. We are negotiating with PSN as well. Parmalat, PSN. We're actually not negotiating with PSN right now. And take away that point. A glitch I recently discovered is that if you do that, their support doesn't go down. At least I think it doesn't go down. I'm gonna hope to prove that for real. Their support doesn't go down, and in this game, if the support goes down, they get more. They don't give you as much cash. In customer deals, it doesn't matter, I think. But if I have them there, even if there's no hospitality, the support will stay there and will pay us what they agreed to pay. So let's go talk with Asia Tech. Just 2 blocks and 4.5 million for engines compared to the 9.5 million we're paying for Ferrari engines right now. So 5 million's less. We definitely want to advance that deal, just not yet. We have this Michelin deal right here that we're definitely going to sign for just customer, and oh god, 3 years of customer health view. I'm probably signing that as well. Parmalat 2 seasons. 1 season of Acer. Okay, I want to secure some income. I'm going to drop all of these to 1% because I will sign them on customer deal. For example, here Michelin, I'm not signing the partner deal despite the fact that it's a 0, simply because I don't have the staff to go for that with no problem. What I don't need to do is I need to sign the customer deal and keep people there to get a bonus. What bonuses do on customer deals is that this value goes lower, which is good for me. I don't need to redistribute that, so we should be safe. Okay, now I'm gonna put a certain percentage of on Acer, and how much of a percentage I'll tell you in a moment. I have a spreadsheet that tells me that, because I kind of want to optimize things. So one moment. So the spreadsheet basically said, like, put everyone you have there, like, what could possibly go wrong? And yeah, 85% with our current commercial staff should move this deal by 1 block per race, assuming our effort doesn't go down. I need to sign this deal to move them to this team slot so we can have some sponsorship for next year, because we're probably not gonna have too many sponsors. Maybe like Acer and Parmalat, maybe PSN all the way down here on 3rd. But after that, I have to focus my sponsors on signing this deal and getting some bonuses on it and signing these other deals. Speaking of which, I'm gonna leave 2% here and be done with this section for now. Licensing, as you saw, it's not moving at all. Now we are going to Brazil. Still can get at least 4. If we had 4, I will be less panicky about this whole ordeal, but we don't even have 4. Also, it makes no sense to focus on Jaguar because we're clearly not on Jaguar's level. Let's focus on ours. What the hell? And tires, I think I'm going to put a lacy on the softs and give Matsakana the hards. Setup for the Brazilian Grand Prix. The surface sucks. Tarmac is horrible. Wears out the tires. Super hot, it may rain. Wind is at least stable, hard to pass, dusty as hell. This track sucks. Especially for back markers because it kills cars. I will do my usual testing and see at what I should set the orders for the next race. Post-production Jose here, hello. I just freaking realized after editing the whole video that it is nearly 45 minutes long. So I decided, you know what? I'm gonna call it here. That's it, that's the end of the video. Hope to see you on the next one where I deal with Brazil, which is going to be 30 minutes long. Just so you know, Jose from Brazil, he doesn't know the video will be cut into parts. He thinks it's just gonna be one episode. He doesn't know it is 45 minutes long, just this one. So, I'll see you then. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day.